You don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Dead up perfect in the kid. Got a billion who take on my hate. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Deku Finds Tai in Digimon Verse in MHA. Special note, this fanfic is written in a masterpiece of Louis C.J. 888 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Another day, another adventure. Izuku was arriving at Ua. What can you tell us about All Might lessons? A reporter suddenly appeared beside him and started asking him questions. On this, an arm wrapped around the back of his neck. I'm sorry, but we're from the General Studies Department. It was Shinso, who had arrived and seen the entire mess set up by the reporters. Oh, I see, sorry. The reporters lose interest on them and let them pass. Thanks. Don't mention it. Reporters are a pain in the ass anyway. What can you tell us about All Might lessons? A reporter asked to Uraraka. All Might? He is really muscular. What can you tell us about All Might lessons? Another reporter asked to Ida. He has made me especially aware that I am truly enrolled in the best educational institution. We students have already been able to see not only his dignity and personality, but other aspects, such as his humor. In this way, by seeing one of the best heroes directly, we can also learn what it takes to be one. He likes to speak a lot. What can you tell us about, you look tired, are you okay? Asked the reporter to Eraserhead. He is working. You are obstructing the entrance to the students. Please go away. Eraserhead said while trying to make the reporters go away. One moment please, we want to know about All Might, a reporter said while getting close to the UAS gate. Suddenly, a metal door emerged and blocked the gates, preventing the reporter from entering the school. Ah, what is this? It's UAS barrier, or at least that's how we named it. If you try to go through that gate without a student or teacher ID, the security system activates. What's wrong with them? We just want a quick interview with All Might. While the reporters were complaining, a figure was staring at the barrier. A classroom. You all did a good job in the battle training. I was able to see the videos and scores. Aizawa said to the class. You really surprised me. Everyone acted rationally. The only thing is that Midoriya and Todoroki try to keep the destruction to a minimum next time. Yes, sensei, both boys responded. Moving on to other matters. Sorry if this is too fast, but... Another test? That was everyone's thoughts. You will have to choose the class president. I want to be the president, said Kirishima. I am ideal for that position, said the French-looking guy, Aoyama. I'll be the leader, said a pink girl, Mina. Shut up, extras. I'll be the one in charge, Bakugo screamed. Enough, Ida interrupted. This is a job that carries great responsibilities. Wanting to be doesn't mean you can. I propose that we decide this through votes. It is too early to know whether or not we trust someone. Also, everyone could vote for themselves, said Kirishima. Precisely, the most voted person will be the ideal for the position. Ida replied, then turned at Aizawa. Is that okay with you, Professor? As long as you decide in time, do it however you want. At the end of the voting and the votes were counted, in front of the classroom were standing Izuku and Momo. So, it looks like Midoriya is the president and Yaoyorozu is the vice president. What? Who voted for Deku? Bakugo screamed. You finished? Good. Now, let's continue with the classes, Aizawa said. At the cafeteria. There is a lot of people, right? Uraraka said. It's because in addition to the hero course, the rest of the courses also eat here, Todoroki said. I'm pretty nervous. I don't know if I'm fit to serve as class president. It seems to me that you are, Shinso said. Indeed, your courage and judgment at critical moments will be invaluable in many situations, Ida said. I don't know exactly how I became friends with Ida, but I'm not complaining. By the way, Ida, from the way you talk, are you from some rich family? Uraraka asked. I tried to hide it by changing my form of talking. My family has been a family of heroes for generations. Ida answered. Ingenium. He is my brother. He is a beloved hero who guides people and respects order and discipline. I intend to become a hero like my brother. Suddenly, an alarm started to sound. Security breach level 3 reached. All the students evacuate the place and go outside immediately. Everyone started to run at the exit, but due to the amount of people, everyone got stuck in the corridor. Ouch. Don't push. What's going on? In one of these, Izuku is pushed to the window. Thanks to that, he was able to see what was happening. It's the media. I need to find a high place to calm everyone down. In that, Izuku turns to see Todoroki. Todoroki-kun, lift me up. Todoroki was confused but still decided to listen to his friend. Using his ice, he began to lift Izuku while he transformed. Everyone, calm down please. This scream caught everyone's attention. It's just the media, so rest assured. Let's behave like UA students. After these words, everyone calmed down. Back to the classroom. Midoriya, good job. Looks like we got our class president right, Ida said. Thanks. Yes, good job. But the classes still continue, Aizawa interrupted. By the way, Midoriya, Shinso, the principal wants to talk to you. Before you ask, I don't know what he wants. Be rational and hurry up. Hearing that, both boys headed to the principal's office. What does the principal want with them? I don't know, but let's hope they don't get expelled. With Izuku and Shinso. I have a bad feeling about this. What do you think the principal wants to talk to us about? Izuku said. Probably about our powers. To them it's quirks, and it's extremely rare that we have such similar quirks without being blood-related. What do we do? Don't worry, let me do the talking and just agree with what I say. Both boys entered the principal's office. All right, you're here. Welcome Shinso-kun, Midoriya-kun. I am Principal Nezu. You called us. What do you want to talk about? Shinso asked. In that, Nezu presses a button and all the doors and windows are closed. Besides, the windows are darkened so that they are not spied on. I just want to talk about your powers. Before you say anything, no, we don't know why our quirks are so similar. Shinso interrupted. You guys need to think of a better excuse, chosen ones. This surprised the boys. They quickly went on guard. Don't worry, violence is not necessary. Perhaps I was a little hasty. At that, to the surprise and confusion of the boys, Nezu's appearance began to glitch. After a few seconds, instead of Nezu, a different creature was sitting in his place. I think I should introduce myself again. The creature is a bipedal creature with white fur on its body and a horned head with pointed ears, gray fur on the mouth, and black eyes. It has 3 claws on each hand and foot and wears a pink haramaki. What are you? Izuku asked with the slight suspicion of knowing the answer. My name is Bakuman. I guess you're already suspecting it, but yes, I'm a Digimon. So Nezu is actually a Digimon. Not quite. Nezu is my camouflaged form. Some Digimon can alter our appearance to go unnoticed. So that means you know about our powers. Correct. You see, I lived hearing stories about the 10 legendary warriors. Somehow, I ended up stranded in this world long after Luciman's defeat. Living here, I decided to create this school, so I can create the same thing I heard while living in my world, heroes. When I saw you guys at the exam, I recognized you instantly. I guess that's why you put us in the same class. Correct. Seeing you made me wonder if any other warrior chose a successor. Do you happen to know someone with a D-scan? And no, we don't know if anyone else got a D-scan. I see, that's a shame. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that if you need help with anything related to this, don't hesitate to talk to me. And please, if you find someone else, make sure they join us. Yes. Principal, how should we call you? Bakuman returns to his Nezu form. To avoid suspicion, call me Nezu. That's all, you can go. Thanks, Principal Nezu. After this, the boys retired to their classroom and the rest of the day happened as normal. A new day has come, and Class 1 was preparing for a special class. Today we are having a special class. Me, All Might, and someone else will be supervising the class. Aizawa said to the class. Excuse me, what are we doing today? You will learn how to act in disasters such as floods and many more. We will have a rescue practice. Today is gonna be a rough day again, huh? Said Kaminari. What are you saying? This is our job as heroes. I am more than ready, said Kirishima. On this occasion, each person will have to decide whether or not to use their suit. Perhaps there are costumes that limit your activities in the middle of practice. Aizawa started explaining. The practice site is a bit far away, so we will take the bus. That is all. Begin your preparations. All the class 1 was ready to get inside the bus. Please everyone, form a line and get on the bus in an orderly manner. Sit wherever you want. Midoriya-kun, wouldn't it be better to line up in 2 lines according to class order? Ida asked. I don't think that'll be necessary. The bus was of this type. I see, said Ida. I usually say what I have in mind. Midoriya-chan, said Tsuyu. Why, yes, Asui-san? Call me Tsuyu-chan. Your quirk and Shinso's are quite similar. Are you related in some way? And no, we didn't meet until the entrance exam. For us, this is also very rare. I see. Still, I think your quirks are pretty cool, compared to my hardening. Kirishima said. I wouldn't say the same. You gave me a good fight. I think is perfect for a pro. Shinso said. Pro level? My naval laser is so flashy and strong that it reaches the level of a pro, said Aoyama. Yes, but the stomach aches aren't really nice, said Mina, making Aoyama depressed. If we are talking about powerful quirks, we cannot pass up the quirks of Bakugo and Todoroki, said Tsuyu while pointing at the mentioned duo. But Bakugo is always angry, so I think he'll never be popular. What did you say, Frog? Do you want to fight? Bakugo screamed at Tsuyu. Despite knowing each other for a short time, we all know your character, Bakugo, said Kaminari, making fun of Bakugo. They are making fun of Kachin, I can't believe it, Izuku thought. What a vulgar conversation, said Momo. I don't know, it's kind of funny, said Uraraka. Get ready everyone, we are almost there, said Aizawa, drawing everyone's attention. Usts. Incredible, it's like the USA Universal Studios Japan. All kinds of disasters and accidents are simulated here, said a pro hero. Her costume consists of a white space suit design using what appears to be a puffy jacket instead of an actual suit, a black helmet with white eyes, and a pair of yellow boots. It was the Pro Hero 13. This is the practice place that I built. Its name is Unforeseen Simulation Joint, or USJ for short. It actually is USJ, everyone thought. I can't believe it. It's 13, said Izuku with stars in his eyes. I love 13, said Uraraka. 13. Where's All Might? Aizawa asked to the hero. He run out of time. 13 answered, rising 3 fingers. The price for the irrationality. Anyway, let's begin. Before starting, I have one thing to say, or maybe 2 or 3. 13 started. As you may know, my quirk, Black Hole, can absorb anything and turn it into dust. I can help a lot of people with it, but this power can also easily kill people. I can imagine that there's someone with a quirk like mine in your group. In this practice, you will learn how to use your quirks to save people. 13 is really amazing, said Uraraka. Now continuing with the class, Aizawa started. At that, Aizawa's senses began to warn him. He turned at the direction he felt and saw a black portal opening. Everyone, stay together and don't move. 13 protect the students, Aizawa ordered. Is this like the entrance exam? Did we already start? Asked Kirishima. Don't move. Those are real villains, screamed Aizawa while putting his goggles on. From the portals emerged a lot of villains and weird creatures, but the most important were the one who created the portal. It looked like a mist. The other is a slim man with pale skin, tinged yellow teeth, and wrinkled a great deal around his eyes. His lips are chapped and uneven, a small mole on the right underneath, with visible scars on his right eye and under his lip. He has messy grayish-blue hair of varying lengths, the longest clumps reaching to about his shoulders, left hanging over his face in uneven waves. His eyes and mouth are normally obscured. He sports 14 embalmed hands, all positioned so they're holding onto him onto different parts of his body. Only 13 and a racer head. This will be easier than I thought, said the hand villain. Villains? Here. What about the sensors? Asked Momo. They must have someone that is jamming our communications and sensors, said 13. 13 start to evacuate. Kaminari, try using your quirk to contact the school. After this exchange, Eraserhead charged against the group of villains. Some of them tried to shoot him with their quirks, but he quickly erased them, to their confusion, then trapped them with his bandages and disabled them. Idiots, that's Eraserhead, he can erase your quirks, said a villain. Erase, huh? Can you erase mutant quirks like mine? Said another villain while trying to attack Eraserhead. No, I can't, but Eraserhead quickly wrapped the villain with his bandages. Quirks like yours, he launched the villain against the rest, are usually combat-oriented. At that, two bird-like creatures attacked Eraserhead. Using his bandages, Eraserhead catches one of them, after which he stamps it against the other and both fall to the ground. To his surprise, once on the ground, the creatures disappear in a data explosion. What the heck? Someone can probably summon these kinds of creatures with its quirk. Incredible. Aizawa-sensei can handle a large number of enemies, Izuku started analyzing. Midoriya, now is not the time to analyze, we have to evacuate, said Ida. But before the group could escape, a black mist appeared in front of them, revealing to be another villain. Shit! I blink once and the one that seems the most dangerous escapes, thought Eraserhead from his position. Hello. We are the League of Villains, said the mist villain. My job is to torture all of you. Before the mist villain could finish his speech, Kirishima and Bakugo attacked him. When the dust cleared, the villains seem unharmed. You are strong. You must be the golden eggs of the UA, said the villain. You too. Get out of there, screamed 13. My job is to scatter all of you, said the villain while using his quirk to teleport the students to the different parts of the deck. Ida and Shoji managed to save some of their classmates. Fire zone. Izuku fell to the ground. When he got up, he could see that he was surrounded by fire. The fire zone? That mist villain's quirk must be some kind of teleportation. What's going on? In that, two bat-like creatures attack him. Izuku dodges the attacks and quickly transforms. Evolution, he screamed. He quickly dodges another attack and with a swipe of his tail knocks both creatures down. Flame toss. The fireball hits the creatures. To his surprise, the creatures explode into data. Data? Are they? Digimon. How is that possible? How does a villain have access to this? In that, several villains and creatures approach Izuku. This is not the time to think. I must first defeat these villains. I'll investigate later. In the building zone, Bakugo and Kirishima were facing some villains. In the landslide zone, Momo, Gyro and Kaminari were defending themselves against some villains, and in the flood zone, Shinso and Tsuyu were trapped in the boat against some villains. Aizawa was facing the hand villain. Using his bandages, he catches the villain and lunges at him and manages to elbow him. Don't try so hard, Eraserhead, the villain said. To Aizawa's surprise, the villain managed to catch his elbow, and to make matters worse, his elbow was disintegrating. Aizawa quickly jumps away. My elbow was destroyed, Aizawa thought as he defeated two other creatures which exploded into data upon defeat. By the way, Eraserhead, I am not the final boss. In that a portal opened behind him, but this one was different. It wasn't made of mist. It was a portal made of data. From that portal emerged a creature larger than the previous ones. The creature appeared to be a metallic purple cocoon. From the back of the creature came 6 extensions that looked like tentacles, which each one at the end had a type of blades. Chrysalimon. Finish him. After several minutes, Eraserhead was on the ground full of cuts. Then Kurogiri appeared at the villain's side. Kurogiri, did you kill 13? No, but I put her out of commission. Unfortunately, a student managed to escape. I see, too bad. I couldn't figure out what I wanted. We'd better go. But first, Chrysalimon, kill Eraserhead. The creature identified as Chrysalimon was about to stab Eraserhead, but suddenly, flame toss, a fireball hit the Digimon. Izuku, in his flameman form, landed in front of Chrysalimon. Midoriya, Aizawa said. A Digimon, the hand villain thought. I won't let you kill him. So, Sensei was right. Chrysalimon, take care of him. As you wish. Shigaraki Tamura. The Digimon answered, and then began attacking Izuku with his tentacles. Izuku, with difficulty, manages to dodge the enemy Digimon's attacks. Flame toss. Izuku tries to attack. However, Chrysalimon destroys his attack with its tentacles. Misconnecting, Chrysalimon flies up in the air and smashes Izuku with its huge body. Izuku flies several meters. After falling to the ground with difficulty, he gets up and begins to surround himself with fire. Noble heart, Izuku charges against Chrysalimon. However, when he hit the enemy, he did not flinch and managed to stop Izuku in his tracks. Using its tentacles, Chrysalimon hits Izuku repeatedly before attacking him again with a misconnection. Izuku again falls to the ground. This time, it is even harder for him to get up. However, Chrysalimon grabs him with its tentacles. Data Crusher. The attack starts to hurt Izuku. The tentacles start to hurt Izuku. Unconnect Buster. Chrysalimon fires a bolt at point-blank range at Izuku, sending him crashing to the ground. When the smoke clears, we can see Izuku, in his human form, face down on the ground. Midoriya, Aizawa screams. A human? That means, Shigaraki thought. Well, that doesn't matter now. Chrysalimon, kill Eraserhead so we can leave. The Digimon pointed one of its blades at Aizawa and attacked. The attack did indeed hit someone, however it missed the target. Izuku was in front of Aizawa, with Chrysalimon's blade stuck in his stomach. Luckily only the tip managed to enter since he managed to stop the attack with his hands, but that doesn't mean he wasn't seriously injured. I already told you. I won't let you kill Aizawa-sensei. After shouting these words, Izuku's D-scan begins to shine and creates a kind of force that makes Chrysalimon move away from Izuku. Izuku takes his D-scan, and his most serious injuries are healed. In that, he looks at his D-scan for a second and then smiles and sees the enemy Digimon. Time for round 2. The data wheel reappears on Izuku's left hand. Execute. Izuku's D-scan makes contact with the data wheel. Spirit evolution. The data began to surround Izuku. Inside the data, Izuku's clothes were stored inside the D-scan, in that several screens appeared around Izuku. Each screen shows what appears to be a piece of red armor. Soon each screen joins to form 2 screens, one behind Izuku and one in front, each screen showing the full armor, the front on the front screen and the back on the back screen. In that, both screens begin to approach Izuku. Once they make contact with him, Izuku begins to change. Several seconds later, the transformation is complete. Back in the world. The data disappeared, and instead of Izuku there was Agunimon. Agunimon is a humanoid Digimon clad in a black bodysuit and red armor. It draws deeply from its namesake, the fire god Agni, with its control over flames, while also associating with the legendary salamander and the elemental fire that folklore ascribes to it. It is equipped with the flame shoulder pauldrons and bears the fire spirit mark on its mask and belt. At the USJ entrance, Shinso and Tsuyu return to the entrance of the USJ, in that he listens to Yororaka. Look over there, it's Deku-kun, but he looks different. Shinso turns to the direction the girl is pointing, in that he sees Izuku and is surprised by his appearance. That's not Flameman. Midoriya, don't tell me that you managed to unlock the true power of the D-scan? Back to the fight. Shigaraki, without any surprise, just limits himself to giving orders. Interesting. Chrysalimon, defeat him. Chrysalimon quickly attacks Izuku with one of his tentacles. However, Izuku easily avoids the attack and approaches his enemy. Crimson Knuckle. Izuku quickly performs a punch, which does a lot of damage to Chrysalimon. Chrysalimon quickly recovers and tries to attack again. Unconnect Buster. Chrysalimon fires a bolt against Izuku. Salamander Break. Izuku unleashes a whirlwind kick of flames which manages to destroy the enemy attack, in addition to approaching Chrysalimon. Salmon Rider Kick. He performs a flaming jump kick which causes Chrysalimon to fall to the ground. Izuku prepares for his last attack. Burning Salamander. He then unleashes a blazing dragon from the burning wrists, which hits Chrysalimon squarely, defeating it completely and causing it to explode in data. Slow applause was heard. Seeing who it was, it turns out that Shigaraki was the one who applauded. Not bad. I expected nothing less from someone like you. You really took me by surprise. What are you talking about? How did you get all these creatures? Ha ha ha. You don't have to talk to me like that, Shigaraki said as he took something out of his pocket. After all, we are not so different from each other. What Shigaraki brought out left Izuku in shock. How? Shigaraki has a D-scan in his hands, only unlike Izuku and Shinso's, his was totally black. Ha ha ha. You have no idea what is about to happen. A dark data wheel appeared on Shigaraki's left hand. Evolution, dark data began to surround Shigaraki as he laughed maniacally. When the transformation was complete, Shigaraki was replaced by a Digimon. Duskman. The Digimon has the form of an adult man, with long blonde hair and wearing armor and a helmet made of an unknown dark material. The helmet has 3 red stones as eyes and 3 horns, while the armor has 7 eyes spread over the shoulders, chest, knees, and feet. Let's see what you're capable of, Aguniman. They both charged at each other. The exchange of blows was fast. Both seemed to have a similar force. However, Izuku seemed to be losing. Burning Salamander, Izuku tried to attack. However, Shigaraki kicked and destroyed the attack. You are strong, but you need experience with this form. That means you just unlocked it. Let me show you true power. Lunar Plasma. Using his swords, Shigaraki slashes a full moon-like arc which damages Izuku quite a bit and absorbs his energy. Izuku crashes to the ground. I'm not done yet. Duskman slide Digivolve too. Dark data begins to surround Duskman. Veljamon, when the data disappeared instead of Duskman, an eagle-like Digimon appeared in its place. With one of his legs, he grabs Izuku and takes him flying through the entire Asti. What the hell? Are there more Digivolutions? Izuku thought. Shigaraki crashes Izuku against the wall, however, he still doesn't let go and proceeds to drag him through the walls of the SJ. A few seconds later, he drops it in the same place where they were originally fighting. Veljamon slide Digivolve to Duskman, Shigaraki said as he returned to his Duskman form and landed in front of an Izuku on the ground in his human form. This is true power, Shigaraki said before returning to his human form. Kurogiri, it's time to go. What? Aren't you here to kill All Might? Izuku asked. Ha ha ha. Do not make me laugh. If I wanted, All Might would already be dead. But I don't want that, at least not now. I need him alive for my plans. At least, as long as he doesn't pass the torch on to someone else. Torch? What are you talking about? It does not matter. Try not to interfere with my plans, and I may let you live when this world is ours. After these words, Shigaraki leaves in a portal of mist. When Shigaraki leaves, the rest of the creatures, which are Digimon, disappear into data portals. Midoriya, Sensei. Shinso, Todoroki, Uraraka, and other students arrived at the scene. Shinso helped Izuku up while the others helped Aizawa. Once everyone reached the entrance, Ida had returned with the reinforcements. The bad thing is that everything was already over. So, the reinforcements were limited to capturing the remaining villains. Shinso was talking to Izuku, alone. The green-haired boy told him what had happened. Are you sure? Yes, that Shigaraki guy has a D-scan. What do you think we should do? We have to talk to Nezu, he could help us, but I think there is another problem. Aizawa was there when it all happened. Maybe he's starting to get suspicious. More reason to talk to Nezu as soon as possible. Agree. And this is how the Uschi incident ended. Unknown place. Shigaraki emerged from the portal, then a voice was heard from a screen. So, how did it went? You were right, Sensei. Those such legendary warriors chose successors. I see. How many of them did you see? Only one. But he was barely able to use the full power of Aguniman. I see. Do you want me to kill him? That won't be necessary. Let him enjoy his life. When our plan is fulfilled, no one will be able to defeat us. This world will be ours to rule. At this, Shigaraki smiled darkly. After the so-called Usagi incident, the UA gave the students some free days so they can relax after that horrible experience. The free days had passed, and now the class 1A was chatting about what happened. Hey, have you seen the news? Asked Zero to Kirishima. Yes, the news made a lot of noise about it, replied Kirishima. Can you blame them? The UA was attacked. Kaminari joined the conversation. At least everything ended well, said Zero. Yeah, by the way, have you seen Aizawa-sensei? Kirishima asked. No, so he was discharged to teach, but he hasn't arrived yet. Kaminari answered. Midoriya and Shinso have not arrived either, Zero said. I wonder where they are. Principal's office. Izuku and Shinso entered at the office. Do you want it to see us? Shinso said. To the surprise of both boys, Nezu was not alone. Aizawa was also in the office, looking at them suspiciously. That's right. Aizawa has some questions to ask you. I think I know what he means, Izuku whispered to Shinso. During the Usage incident, the one who seems to be the one who directed all that, Tomura Shigaraki, if I remember correctly, used a device similar to yours. What surprised me the most is that he did exactly the same as you. He transformed into a creature, although more human. If it's too much of a coincidence that you two have a very similar quirk, that a villain also has something like that, that's very suspicious. I want to know exactly what is that power that you have. During the fight I tried to use my quirk against the villain, but it was useless. Well, you see, Izuku tried to explain something, but he couldn't think of anything. Don't worry, Midoriya-kun, it would be best to tell Aizawa the truth, Nezu said. What are you talking about? Do you know anything about this? Aizawa asked. Calm down, Aizawa-kun. Everything has an explanation, said Bakuman said as he took off his Nezu disguise. Wow, what happened? As I said, everything has an explanation. If you promise to wait until we finish, it will be easier to understand everything. Very well, I'm hearing. One explanation later. Let me see if I understand. Nezu, you are actually a creature called Digimon. These Digimon are creatures made of data, but they are still alive. You two were chosen by some ancient and legendary Digimon to carry their power and become heroes. In the USD, those creatures that exploded in data were Digimon that in some way that Tomura Shigaraki was commanding, and lastly, that Shigaraki also has a D-scan. Is that its name? But you don't know how he got one. Yeah, basically that's it, said Shinso. This is a headache. You two really are problem childs. As you can understand, Aizawa-kun, this information is quite sensitive. That's why we ask you to please keep it a secret. Aizawa was silent for several seconds. Very well. This is more rational than telling others. We don't want to cause panic to break out. Thank you, Aizawa-kun. I knew that you would understand reasons. We shouldn't tell this to the rest of the staff either, at least not right now. Bakuman said, returning to his Nezu disguise. I understand. But what about that guy Shigaraki? We really don't know much, other than he has a D-scan, Nezu said. I think if I have something to add, Izuku said. As you know, when we transform, Izuku activates the data wheel in his hand. This data wheel appears in our hands, however Shigaraki's is different, darker, for lack of a better word, as if something was corrupting it. The data wheel disappeared. I see, somehow Shigaraki got the D-scan from the darkness, and because of the evil within his heart the D-scan became corrupted. That is my theory, Nezu said. Looks like we have a new mission. We must find a way to get the D-scan back from Shigaraki. Don't worry, Midoriya and I will do whatever it takes to retrieve the D-scan of darkness, Shinso said. I will help too, Aizawa said. This may not have anything to do with me, but since I'm involved in this secret, I'll help in any way I can. Thanks. Now the best thing would be for you to return to your classroom. Your students must be worried. Aizawa nodded. Let's go, problem children. Aizawa, Izuku, and Shinso leave the office to go to the classroom. A classroom. Seriously, where is Aizawa-sensei? Uraraka said. This is definitely an unprofessional attitude, Ida said. Shinso and Midoriya haven't arrived either, Todoroki said. Everyone wonders similar things, in that the door opens and the three missing people entered the classroom. They arrived, everyone yelled in unison. Why this delay, sensei? Ida asked. The director needed to talk about some things. Because of this, and for this occasion, I will not call your attention for not being seated in your places, Aizawa said while everyone seated. Now into a new subject. The fight isn't over yet. Fight? Don't tell me. More villains. The UA Sports Festival is approaching, Aizawa said, calming everyone. The Sports Festival? Wait, villains just invaded us. Is it wise to organize a festival? Asked a student. On the contrary, by holding the Sports Festival, we will be demonstrating the confidence we have in our security system. We will also have a security 5 times higher than in other years, Aizawa started saying. Also, the Sports Festival is a great opportunity for everyone. True, there will be several professionals observing the event, possibly to see potential young recruits, said Momo. That's right. If a professional sees you at the event, you will have a promising future. You have this opportunity once a year. 3 years in total. If you aspire to be heroes, this is an event you cannot fail at. During midday break. Man, I'm so pumped right now. If we can stand out and attract the attention of a professional, it will be a step towards success, said Kirishima while some of his classmates were sharing his enthusiasm. Incredible. Everyone is very excited, said Izuku to herself. Aren't you as well? Asked Ida. We signed up here to become heroes, right? Of course, it is natural to get excited about this. You have a strange way to show your enthusiasm, Ida, said Todoroki. Deku-kun, Shinso-kun, Ida-kun, Todoroki-kun, interrupted Uraraka. We will do our best at this festival. Do you understand? Wow, it looks like Uraraka just awakened her spirit. Now that I think about it, I never asked her reasons for becoming a hero, thought Izuku. Money? Why, yes. I'm sorry. My motivation seems impure compared to yours. Your motivation is just as valid as ours, said Todoroki. Yes, everyone has their own motivations, said Shinso. Exactly. It is also valid if your goal is to achieve a better quality of life, said Ida. You see, my family owns a construction, but right now there is no job, so we are kind of poor. That's why I will become a hero, so that my parents have a better life. Uraraka-san, that is so noble from your part, Ida said while clapping at her. Everyone else was saying similar things to her. After this, the group headed to the cafeteria. After school. A classroom. What's going on? Uraraka said. She wanted to get out the classroom, but a horde of people was blocking the exit from the classroom. We can't exit the classroom. They are here to scout incompetence, said Bakugo in an unusual calm tone. They are searching for the class which survived to the villain invasion. That's the neutral Kachin. You don't see him so often, said Izuku. Bakugo then directed to the horde. Get out of the way, extras. Hey, I am from the class 1B, said a gray-haired guy. I heard you fought villains. I hope you don't feel arrogant. Wow, a declaration of war. I would have done the same thing, Shinso thought. Don't embarrass us. After this declaration, Bakugo started making his way out of the classroom. Wait a minute. These people hate us because of you, screamed Kirishima at him. Make no mistake. When you are at the top, that is inevitable. The most important thing is to stay there, said Bakugo before leaving. After this event, everyone started leaving as well, and the 2 weeks of training started. Izuku focused on improving his control with Agumon. Shinso, for his part, was training to catch up with Izuku, preparing something specifically for him in case they clash. 2 weeks later. Anteroom 1A. Everyone is ready? We leave in a few minutes, said Izuku to the rest of his classmates. Midoriya Shoto called his friend. Yes? We may be friends, but that doesn't mean I'll let you win, Todoroki said with a challenging but friendly look. I wouldn't ask for anything else. I think Todoroki is not the only one with those intentions. Shinso approached. I don't plan on losing to you either, Izuku said. Okay, that's enough. It is time to enter the stadium, said Ida, interrupting. The U.S. Sports Festival has just started, said Present Mike from the commentator booth. Entering first, the boys who faced the invasion of the villains with steel temper. From the hero department, I present to you Class 1A, said while the class was exiting to the arena. There's a lot of people, said Izuku. Will we be able to keep up with so many people watching us? Ida asked to himself. I guess that's part of being heroes, Shinso said. Next, we have Class 1B also from the hero department. Groups C, D, and E of the Department of General Studies. Groups F, G, and H of the Support and Administrative Department, said Present Mike while the rest of the students entered the arena. As a judge we have the rated +18 heroine, Midnight. Hi everyone. Now we will have the student give the athlete speech. Katsuki Bakugo, Midnight said. Bakugo? Maybe it's because he got first place on the entrance exam, said Zero. Bakugo stepped in front of the microphone with a completely serious face. I promise to be the one who comes out on top. This earned several boos from people and other students, as they thought the boy was being arrogant. He's not being arrogant. The Kachin I know would have said that with a laugh. Still, he got all of us involved in this, Izuku thought. Okay, let's go directly to the first test, which will be an obstacle race, she said while a gate was opening. A race among the 11 classes. The route to follow is the perimeter of the stadium. 4 kilometers in total. Only the first 42 places will advance to the next round. Everyone got ready to run. Start, screamed Midnight. Everyone started running only to get stuck in the gates. Suddenly, a blast of ice froze everyone's feet. It was Todoroki who took the lead. That might work with the rest of the classes, but in that the boy turns and observes that all his classmates avoid the ice. I knew it. Suddenly, 3 0 points appeared in front of everyone. So, this is what they faced in the entrance exam, said Todoroki while creating some ice. I wish they had made something more difficult, since my damn old man is watching. After this, he completely froze the 3 robots. After Todoroki passed from the bottom, the robots collapsed, preventing the passage of others. With a single attack, Todoroki, Class 1A, breaks through and blocks the way for the others. Incredible, said Present Mike. From the fallen robots, a body emerged from them. It was Kirishima. That Todoroki. If it hadn't been me, that person would have died. Eijiro Kirishima. Quirk, hardening. Eijiro's quirk gives him the power to harden and sharpen any or all parts of his body, causing his flesh to become jagged and rock-like. Then another person emerged from the robots. That guy? If it hadn't been me, other person would have died. Tetsutetsu. Quirk, steel. Tetsutetsu's quirk allows him to turn his skin into steel. This power grants Tetsutetsu both augmented defensive abilities to withstand attacks, as well as the augmented strength of his unarmed physical attacks. Suddenly an explosion was heard. It was Bakugo who used his explosions to pass above the robots. He was followed by Shiro, Takoyami, Shinso transformed in Strabaman, and Izuku transformed in Flameman. Hanta Shiro. Quirk, tape. Hanta's quirk is that he has tape dispenser-like organs in his elbows, from which he can shoot long cellophane tape-like strips. He can also retract them. They appear to be somewhat sturdier than regular tape. Fumikage Takoyami. Quirk, dark shadow. Fumicage's quirk allows him to manifest a sentient shadow monster from his body that he can materialize and contract freely. If you cannot go below, go above, said Present Mike. Then an even bigger explosion destroyed the rest of the robots. It was Momo with a cannon she created. Thanks to her, everyone was able to pass the robots, but quickly find themselves in the second obstacle. It was a cliff with various ropes connecting various pillars of earth. If you fall, you are disqualified. Todoroki was already near the end of this obstacle. Tsuyu used her quirk to move in the ropes. Ida did the same, but trying to maintain the equilibrium. Bakugo used his explosions to cross the cliff by flying. Izuku and Shinso used their enhanced abilities to jump from column to column. The rest managed as best they could. Todoroki was already in the way to the last obstacle when he stopped. Ladies and gentlemen. The third obstacle, a minefield like in the Rambo movies. But don't worry, the power of the mines is low enough to only stun. It's an obstacle for the one that is in first place, said Todoroki to himself. Not for me, screamed Bakugo while passing Todoroki. He was using his explosions to fly above the minefield. You chose the wrong people to declare a war. Todoroki reached Bakugo and started fighting him for the first place. But suddenly a big explosion was heard from the beginning of the third obstacle, and Izuku could be seen flying on the sky passing both boys. Suddenly someone fell on top of Bakugo's shoulders. It was Shinso. Thanks for the boost. Shinso used Bakugo's body to propel himself away. Damn bastards, who said you could go ahead of me? Charged Bakugo. Todoroki froze the field and started running towards them. This will open the way for those behind. But this is not the time to worry about that. When they trio managed to reach Izuku, he a flame toss activate a mine which exploded and managed to give him the necessary boost to overtake the trio, and at the same time momentarily stun Bakugo, Shinso and Todoroki. He then landed at the end of the minefield and started running the fastest he could with Shinso, Todoroki and Bakugo in his back. Now, with you, the winner of the first test is Izukumidoriya, said Present Mike when Izuku entered the arena. When Izuku entered, the entire state erupted into applause and shouts of excitement. At Izuku's house, Inko was crying with happiness. While Shigaraki, he just limited himself to observing the event while smiling evilly. One after another, they began to reach the goal. Deku-kun, you managed to get first. You are awesome, congratulated Uraraka. Thanks, he said to her. This is just the first test. The next one you won't be so lucky. Shinso joined the conversation. Maybe you'll win next one, but I'll be the winner at the end. Todoroki joined. We're done. Here are the results, said Midnight while in the screen appeared all the 42 places. And I will only put the places that matter to us. 1. Izukumidoriya. 2. Hitoshi Shinso. 3. Shoto Todoroki. 4. Katsuki Bakugo. 6. Tenya Ida. 16. Ochako Uraraka. What a pity for those who did not pass, but we must continue, said Midnight. Now, the second event will be a cavalry battle, she said while a picture of All Might being carried by 13, Present Mike and Eraserhead was shown. Teams can be 2 to 4 people. You can freely choose your team. The rules are the same as a normal cavalry battle, only with a difference. The value of your team's points will be based on the result of the obstacle race, she said as everyone's score was displayed on the screen. The last place is worth 5 points, the penultimate is worth 10 points, and so on, except for first place, which is worth a total of 10 million. When Izuku heard that, he could feel everyone glaring at him. You have 15 minutes to form your teams. The points will be the total of the sum of the team members. The rider must wear the band that will indicate the points of each team. In addition, the captured bands should be placed on the neck. Very well. Start building your teams. Midnight ended. Bakugo, let's make a team. A lot of people started asking Bakugo to join his team. I don't know your quirks, get lost, he said. Bakugo, let's team up, said Kirishima. You want to be the rider, right? In that case, you will need someone to withstand your explosive impacts. That will be me. Together we will be invincible, and we will take the 10 million. He said, earning a smirk from Bakugo. Just as I supposed, everyone is avoiding me, Izuku thought. Midoriya. Izuku turns to see who called him and meets Shoji. Can I team up with you? Shoji-kun? Are you sure? You're strong and smart. I'm sure you'll manage to get through to the next round. Thank you. Now we need more people to join us. In that case, let me be part of your team. Jiro. Tsuyu approached the boys. Sui-san, do you want to team up with us? I already told you to call me Tsuyu-chan, and yes, I want to team up with you. Perfect. We just need one more person. You, the first place? Let's team up. Suddenly, a pink-haired girl reached Izumi. What? Who are you? I'm Mei Hatsum. I want to team up with you to show all my babies to the world. Babies? You mean your inventions? All my inventions are my babies. Wow, what is this? Mei said as she took Izuku's D-scan without him being able to help it. Wow, I had never seen anything like this. MHA, I need that. This is a very interesting baby. What is this? Izuku took his D-scan from Mei's hands. It's called D-scan, and it helps me with my quirk. My quirk allows me to transform into different creatures. However, I can't decide what to transform into. This device helps me decide what to transform into, Izuku explained. It's not exactly the truth, but it's not a lie either. Interesting, so can I join your team? Sure. Anyway, we need a team member. In that, Izuku stops to observe his team. Shoji could be. Tsuyu could help us in. Hatsum's inventions would be useful for. After some thought, Izuku comes up with a good plan. Guys, I know what to do. Uraraka was looking for Izuku. She wanted to team up with him. In that, he manages to spot Izuku and quickly approaches him. In that, she notices that Izuku is talking to Shoji, Tsuyu, and another girl that she doesn't recognize. Looks like his team is complete. Are you looking for a team? The girl turned to see who was talking to her. It was Shinso, who was being accompanied by Takoyami and a boy with silver hair. We still need a member. The girl smiles at this. The 15 minutes are up. So, let's get started, said Midnight. Wake up, Eraserhead. The teams are complete. said President Mike while waking up Aizawa. Interesting teams, Aizawa simply said. In the arena, all the teams were prepared to start. Here it comes, said Izuku. Are you ready? Yes, Shoji, the frontal horse. Hehe, laughed Hatsum, left horse. Yes, Jiro, said Tsuyu, right horse. I'm counting on you, Izuku ended. Then he saw the rest of the team, especially 3 of them. Bakugo's team was formed by Kirishima, Mina, and Shiro. Bakugo was the rider, Kirishima was the frontal horse, and Mina and Shiro were at the sides. They had a total of 665 points. Todoroki's team was formed by Ida, Momo, and Denki. Todoroki was the rider, Ida was the frontal horse, and Momo and Denki were at the sides. They had a total of 610 points. Finally, Shinso's team was formed by Takoyami, Uraraka, and Tetsutetsu. He was the rider, Tetsutetsu was the frontal horse, and Uraraka and Takoyami were at the sides. They had a total of 620 points. Here we go, let the countdown begin. Our objective, said Bakugo. 2. Is only 1, said Todoroki. 1. Be ready, said Shinso. Start. Suddenly, every team started charging against Izuku's team. Just like Midoriya said, we are the target of all teams, Shoji said. Get ready, you know what to do, Izuku, transformed into Flameman, said while he activated a jetpack, courtesy of Mei, and then start flying. I don't think so, said Gyro while using her jacks to try and grab the 10M points. However, Midoriya, at your 6, Shoji, thanks to his quirk he could feel Gyro's jacks nearby. Thanks to this, Izuku was able to block the jacks from taking the 10 million. Perfect. Thanks to your enhanced senses we can cover our blind spots. You're awesome, Shoji-kun. Thanks. Deku, suddenly Bakugo appeared above them and was about to steal the 10M points. Luckily Izuku managed to grab Bakugo's arms. Sorry Kachin, but I can't let you take these points, he said before kicking Bakugo away. Luckily for Bakugo, he was saved by Shiro's tape. We are about to land, said Tsuyu. The team landed safely thanks to Mei's inventions. Yes, thanks to Hatsum's inventions we can land safely, said Izuku. 3. Wait, where is your headband? Asked Sato. What? She said while at the distance Shinso was adding another headband to his collection. On the right, another team, Shoji warned. Turning around, Izuku could see a team approaching them. Get ready, you know what to do. Flame toss, Izuku quickly launches a fireball, but not directly at the opposing team. The fireball hits the ground which momentarily stuns the opposing team. Asui-san, now. I already told you to call me Tsuyu-chan, Tsuyu said, and then used her tongue to steal the points from the enemy team, which was still stunned by Izuku's attack. She then passed the band she stole from the other team to Izuku. Good, with this we can ensure we go to the next round if the 10 million are stolen. Suddenly, 3 other teams closed in on them. Oh no, hold on tight, Izuku activated the jetpack and managed to escape. However, upon landing, one of Hatsum's inventions broke down. My baby, screamed Hatsum. Sorry, but at least we escape, said Izuku. It was an interesting first half. Let's see the scores of the teams, said President Mike when the screen showed the scores. Wait a minute, besides the Midoriya team, the only teams with points are the Shinso team, the Monoma team, and the Todoroki team. The screen showed the scores. 1. Team Midoriya, 10,990 points. 2. Team Shinso, 1935 points. 3. Team Monoma, 1,190 points. 4. Team Todoroki, 615 points. The rest of the teams had 0 points. Everyone was speechless on how they lost their punts. You all got so focused on the 10 million, neglecting your own bands, giving others free rein to steal them without you noticing, said Shinso. Bakugo was pissed. Someone stole his points, and he is seeing who. It was Nido Monomo, from Class B. It seems that you are all words, said while Bakugo was getting angrier. You bark, but you don't bite. And so, you want to be number 1. Poor you. That's it, Bakugo thought. He made an explosion with his hands. Kirishima, before Deku, we will destroy these extras, he said in a furious tone. Meanwhile, Izuku was facing a special team. I knew you were coming for us. It was a matter of time, Todoroki-kun. Soon, your headband will be mine, Todoroki simply said. You will stay in the attempt. Suddenly, a lot of teams surrounded both of Todoroki and Izuku's teams. Kaminari, said Todoroki. Hatsum-san, quick. Do you have something to cover us from electricity? On it. Finally, indiscriminated discharge. 13 million volts, he said while unleashing an enormous quantity of electricity. Todoroki used a blanket to cover the rest of his team. Hatsum took out a blanket similar to Momo's to cover her team from the rest of the teams were paralyzed by the attack. Todoroki used this and froze everyone, except Izumi's team. No, the jetpack, Izuku said when the jetpack busted in smoke. I guess we don't have other choice rather than fight. Todoroki-kun, prepare yourself, said Ida. Ida. After this, I will stop being useful. So, make sure you grab them. Ida said while preparing his technique. Torque over, recipro burst. From 1 second to the next, Izuku's headband disappears. Todoroki's team, now behind his back, had the headband. I've been saving this move for the time to face you, Midoriya. However, the team failed to notice the smiles from Izuku and his team. Wow, in a twist of events, Todoroki's team took the 10 million, said Present Mike. But then, that was an impressive move, Ida-kun. I never expected it. But I'm sorry to tell you it didn't work out, Izuku said as he turned the headband around his neck, showing the 10 million points. What? Todoroki was shocked. He then saw the headband in his hand, and it was one with 600 points. It was a different headband. How? We planned this from the beginning. We decided to take some team's points and exchange them with the 10 million, so we would keep the 10 million safe, while everyone tried to steal the wrong bang. Incredible. Midoriya's team tricked everyone into chasing the wrong headband, said Present Mike. They created a secondary strategy in case their original strategy failed. Very smart, added Aizawa. Come on, we need that headband, ordered Todoroki, and his team charged at Midoriya's. Time's out, screamed Present Mike. At the same time, Bakugo managed to take all of Monama's headbands. Very well, let's check the final scores, said Present Mike. First we have Midoriya's team, who managed to keep the 10 million points from the beginning, achieving a total of 10,325 points. Izuku's entire team was happy to keep 10 million points and come in first place. In second place we have Shinso's team. Those with an incredible strategy managed to obtain 1935 points. All the team was smiling proudly. In third place we have Todoroki's team with a total of 1,215 points. All the team sighed of relief. Finally, in fourth place we have Bakugo's team, with a total of 1,190 points. The entire team was relieved to at least get through, except Bakugo, who was cursing at the top of his lungs. I knew you'd get to keep the 10 million, Shinso said to Izuku. It was an incredible strategy. I didn't see it coming, Todoroki said. Thanks. How about we go get something to eat? After lunch and a break, all the qualifiers were in the stadium. Okay, let's begin with the third event. It would be a tournament of fighting 1 against 1. The matches will be decided at random. Pay attention to the screen, said Midnight, then the names appeared in the screen. 1. Izuku Midoriya vs. Denki Kaminari. 2. Tenya Ida vs. Mei Hatsum. 3. Fumikage Takoyami vs. Momo Yayurazu. 4. Bakugo Katsuki vs. Ochako Yororaka. 5. Hitoshi Shinso vs. Mizo Shoji. 6. Mina Ashido vs. Tsuyu Asui. 7. Ajiro Kirishima vs. Tetsutetsu Tetsutetsu. 8. Shoto Todoroki vs. Hantasiro. For the participants, while we finish the combat arena, you can use your free time to rest or prepare strategies. Very well. The moment that everyone has been waiting for has arrived, said Present Mike. Let's start with the first match. For one side, he got first place in the obstacle course. He managed to keep the first place in the cavalry battle. Let's see how far this talented boy can go. From the hero department, Izukumidoriya, Present Mike said while Izuku was stepping inside the arena. On the other side we have the most electrifying boy, Denki Kaminari, Present Mike said while Kaminari was stepping inside the arena. The rules are simple. If the opponent leaves the ring, he becomes unconscious or surrenders. Victory will be for the one who remains standing. In case of severe injuries, Recovery Girl will take care of healing you. So, go with everything, said Midnight. Both competitors are ready? Kaminari and Izuku nodded. In that case, begin. I'm sorry, Midoriya, but this is how far you get in the tournament, Kaminari said as he started to create electricity. Indiscriminated discharge. 13 million volts. Evolution. Izuku quickly transforms into Flameman. Baby Salamander. The fire aura from the attack manages to cover Izuku from Kaminari's electricity attack. When the attack ends, Izuku prepares for another. However, all he saw was Kaminari standing on the platform. Hey, Kaminari said, giving a thumbs up. His brain has been overcharged. Izuku takes advantage of this to simply push him off the platform easily. Kaminari-kun is off the platform. The winner is Midoriya-kun. He advances to the second round. Well, it was a short fight, but it doesn't matter. Please give a big round of applause. Let's continue with the first round. First, from the heroes department. Tenya Ida stepped into the platform, and his opponent, from the support department, Mei Hatsum. The fit between Ida and Hatsum was an interesting fight. Basically, Hatsum used Ida as a guinea pig to promote all her inventions. After 10 minutes, at the end of her presentation, she left the platform by herself, giving the victory to Ida. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with the next match. Who will win? Will be the explosive guy from the hero department, Katsuki Bakugo, or it will be the gravity girl, my personal favorite, from the hero department, Ochako Uraraka, said Present Mike. Bakugo and Uraraka stepped inside the platform. Uraraka was remembering the conversation she had with Izuku and her other friends before her match. Flashback. I have a plan that can help you defeat Kachin, said Izuku. That's great. With that you can win, said Ida. Thanks, Deku-kun, but I will be fine, Uraraka said. I must stop depending on others to win. Right now, we are all rivals. That's why I will defeat Bakugo single-handedly. See you in the final. Uraraka said, giving Izuku and the rest thumbs up. Flashback end. Okay, both contestants ready. Begin, screamed Midnight. Uraraka quickly charged towards Bakugo in an attempt to make him float with her quirk. However, Bakugo fought back with an explosion which knocked the girl back. Although the attack comes, it is very difficult to dodge it, thought Uraraka. You better give up, said Bakugo. Suddenly, in front of him there was movement. Bakugo quickly attacked with another explosion. However, all he attacked was Uraraka's uniform shirt. The real Uraraka appeared behind Bakugo, hidden in the smoke from Bakugo's explosions. However, Bakugo quickly responded with another blast, this time hitting his target. Uraraka quickly stood up. However, Bakugo appeared in front of her and released an explosion against her. You are slow, said Bakugo. Managing to resist the explosion, Uraraka charged again against Bakugo. However, the only thing she found was another explosion. The situation began to repeat itself several times in a row. I can't keep watching this, said a pro hero. Hey, do you really want to be a hero? If you see that the difference in power is so great, just take her out of the ring. That hero screamed to Bakugo. Yes, she is just a girl, said another hero. Suddenly, several boos, directed at Bakugo, began to sound. The boos have started. To be honest, I feel bad too. Ouch, said Present Mike, to later be beaten by Aizawa. Does he seem to you to be playing with her? Was the one who said that a professional. If that's the case, you better get out of here, go home and find a new profession. He knows that his rival came here on her own merit. That is why he takes so many precautions. He is not underestimating her. After these words, everyone fell silent. Thank you, Bakugo. Thank you for not letting your guard down, said Uraraka. At that moment, everyone looked up to the sky to see a lot of debris in the air. She always kept her distance from Bakugo. She always kept a low profile and kept Bakugo's attention on the ground while she prepared her weapons. Todoroki said. From the beginning, he realized Uraraka's plan. I'm going to win, Uraraka yelled as she dropped the debris onto Bakugo. However, with a gigantic explosion, Bakugo destroyed all the debris. That was close, muttered Bakugo. After this attack, which also hit Uraraka, she collapsed to the ground. Uraraka-chan can't continue. Bakugo-kun is the winner, said Midnight. Bakugo goes to the next round. We will now give a few minutes while the platform is repaired, then we'll continue with the next fight, said Present Mike. The next battle was Momo vs Tokoyami, and it was another short fight. Tokoyami used Dark Shadow to quickly push Momo out of the platform before the girl could create anything more than a shield. Alright, we start with the second half of the first round. On one side we have a boy whose looks remind me of Eraserhead. Hitoshi Shinso. Shinso stepped in the platform. On the other side we have a guy with multiple arms. With that you can stand out a lot. Mizo Shoji. Okay. Both contestants ready? Begin, screamed Midnight. However, before Shinso transforms, Shoji raises his arm. I give up. I've been analyzing the match and I don't think I can beat you. Shoji-kun gives up. Shinso-kun is the winner, Midnight said. The next match is Tsuyu vs Mina. Mina kept Tsuyu on the defensive for most of the match. However, Tsuyu manages to catch Mina off guard and manages to push her off the platform and get the victory. The next match was Tetsutetsu vs Kirishima. The battle was the definition of close combat. They both hit each other hard, with their quirks activated. Such was the ferocity that they both fell unconscious at the same time. The tiebreaker was a contest of strength between the two. The winner was Kirishima. Todoroki was heading to the platform, waiting for his moment to enter. However, halfway he meets someone. Shoto. Endeavor. You are doing well. However, you have come in third place in the past events. It's not good enough. If your mother hadn't forbidden me to continue training you, you could have come in first place in all the events. Don't bring my mother into this. It's your fault I don't train with you anymore. Besides, I'm not doing this to make you proud. I see you have changed. It's thanks to my friends. Friends? Let me give you some advice, Shoto. Friends won't get you to the top. They are a waste of time unless they work for you. Hearing this, Shoto gets enraged. Without saying anything else, Shoto leaves Endeavor behind. Very good. Now we go with the last fight of the first round. On the one hand, we have a boy with a strange face. Hand to Shiro. Shiro stepped inside the platform. On the other hand, we have a very cold boy, but not in personality. Shototodoroki. Okay, both contestants ready. Begin, screamed Midnight. Well, even though I feel like I can't beat him, Shiro said. Suddenly using his tape he caught Todoroki, who didn't put up any resistance. His mind was somewhere else. I don't want to lose either. With that, he starts dragging Todoroki off the platform. Friends won't get you to the top. They are a waste of time unless they work for you. Those words still echoed in Todoroki's head, making him angrier. At that, a blast of ice shot out from his body, hitting Shiro. The ice that was generated from that blast would be so large that it would cover half of the stadium. Luckily, no one was injured. Don't you think you exaggerated a bit? Shiro said, which brought Todoroki out of his thoughts. Realizing what he did, a regretful expression appears on Todoroki's face. Shiro-kun, can you continue? Midnight asked. She was half frozen by the attack. You're kidding? Of course not. Shiro-kun gives up. Todoroki-kun is the winner. Well. With that we finished the first round. We'll take a break while we remove the ice from the arena. Present Mike said. In that Todoroki runs out of the arena. Izuku can notice something. He is afraid. Izuku quickly gets up to talk to his friend. Among the public someone notices the same. In some corridor inside the stadium, Todoroki hits one of the walls in anger. Damn it, once again, I let my problems affect someone else. Todoroki-kun, are you okay? Shoto turns and sees Izuku with a worried face. Midoriya, yes, don't worry, I just need to think for a moment. Your father again, right? Yes, look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I need to be alone for a few moments. I understand if you need to talk, you know where I am. Izuku leaves. Shoto is silent for a few seconds. At that, Shoto. Shoto turns to see and is surprised to see who spoke to him. She is a woman with long white hair. Mother. Several minutes later. Rei was furious, but she shouldn't focus on that. Her son needs her right now. I see, so that's what he said. I know I shouldn't listen to him, and I don't do things for him anymore, but inside I still want him to recognize me. You still feel like you don't deserve to be happy. If your father doesn't recognize you, you feel useless. Tell me one thing. What do you want to become? I want to be a hero. I know that, but what kind of hero do you want to be? I don't know. You don't know, or you don't remember. I remember that when you were younger, we used to see All Might on television. You told me you wanted to be a hero like him. Do you remember what I used to tell you? It's okay to become what I want to be. Rei smiles at her son. You don't have to let your father control you. You have me, Fayumi, Natsuo, and all your friends. We are all here for you. Become the hero you wish to be. Shoto couldn't take it anymore. He started to cry while his mother hugged him. Okay, let it all go. Let it out. Several minutes later, Shoto returns to the rest of his class. Todoroki-kun, are you feeling okay? Izuku asks. Shoto smiles slightly, but that smile was more genuine than any other he's ever done. Yeah, actually I feel pretty good. Endeavor was in some hallway looking for Shoto, however who he meets is Rei, a very angry Rei. What are you doing here? Endeavor asked. I came to see my son compete. And what do you want? I talked to Shoto and he told me that you told him. I just gave him some advice to fulfill his dream. His dream or yours? Endeavor raised an eyebrow. You and your stupid goal of surpassing All Might is causing damage to your son. So, what do you know? You are not a hero. No, I'm not, but it's my family you're harming, and I can have an opinion on that. Endeavor tried to reply, but Rei didn't let him. Toya died trying to be like you. Fayumi suffered from depression from seeing our family break up. Natsuo hates you, and would have left home if it hadn't been for me. And Shoto has a trauma because of you. If it hadn't been for me, his brother and sister, and his friends, he would be already admitted to a damn psychiatrist. In that Rei points to the public. They see you as a hero, but do you know how I see you? As one of the worst villains, for everything you did to my family. Rei couldn't take it anymore and tears began to come out of her eyes. Endeavor had his back to her and didn't reply. I don't know why I'm telling you these things. You don't care about anything other than beating All Might. Maybe if you realized your mistakes and tried to fix them, maybe then you would have a chance to surpass All Might. In that Rei leaves, leaving Endeavor alone. Several minutes passed. Endeavor fell to his knees, tears in his eyes. His wife's words showed him how horrible he really had always been. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start the second round. On one side we have izukumidoriya. On the other, Tenya Ida. Who will win? Present Mike said while Izuku and Ida stepped inside the platform. Okay. Both contestants ready. Begin, screamed Midnight. Both of them came out at great speed, Izuku transforming into Flameman while Ida used his quirk to increase his speed, and then each one threw a blow which hit the other. And so it went. It was a speed fight, both opponents running around and throwing punches to try to hit their opponent. But in that flame toss, Izuku exclaimed as he launched a fireball towards Ida, but this boy managed to take a long jump to stay on top of Izuku. Recipro burst, Ida exclaimed as blue flames shot out of the tubes on his legs and then tried to kick the boy, but Izuku quickly managed to duck. I only have about 10 seconds before my engines stop, Ida thought during the fight. Before landing on the ground and jumping back, I have to win in that time. Izuku received a strong kick from Ida, making his face hit the ground. Flame tail, Izuku exclaimed, trying to hit Ida, but Ida jumped again and grabbed Izuku by the hair, then dragging him to the edge of the platform. There are still 8 seconds left. I'll throw it out of bounds. Those were Ida's thoughts as he saw the limit come faster and faster, but just at that moment, Izuku quickly detransforms, which makes the hair Ida was holding disappear. Taking advantage of this, he proceeds to kick Ida's back multiple times and make him fall off the platform. I was trying to be careful with your recipro burst. Ida-kun, Izuku spoke, now standing in the middle of the platform. Even so, I couldn't dodge it, but I was able to fight back. Ida-kun is off limits. Midoriya-kun is the winner, Midnight announced. The next fight was Takoyami vs Bakugo. The fight was short. Despite his best attempts, Takoyami was outclassed by Bakugo. Thanks to Bakugo's explosions, Dark Shadow was unable to do anything, which led Takoyami to give up. Bakugo wasn't paying attention to Midnight's announcement. His attention was focused on Izuku, who was sitting with the rest of the class. You're going down, Deku. It looks like my next fight will be against Kachin. I will not be intimidated by him. I'm not the same as before, Izuku thought. The next fight is Shinso vs Tsuyu. The frog girl gave her best effort, even managing to land a few hits on Shinso. However, Shinso eventually got the better of her and managed to knock her off the platform. Kirishima blocks another punch from Todoroki, who was with his ice armor technique activated. Not bad, Ice Boy, but it's not enough to defeat my defense. Kirishima begins to counterattack with multiple punches which begin to break Todoroki's ice armor. Kirishima would take a punch to Todoroki's right cheek, but to his surprise the boy managed to withstand the attack without moving. Who said I need to break your defense? Todoroki takes Kirishima's arm with which he hit him, and suddenly Kirishima is covered with a layer of ice, completely immobilizing him. I knew I couldn't freeze you with a ranged attack. I had to lure you into close combat in order to catch you off guard, Todoroki said. Kirishima-kun is immobilized. Todoroki-kun advances to the semifinals, Midnight said. With this fight we finish the second round. We will give a 10-minute rest and then we will continue with the semifinals, announced Present Mike. Izuku is on his way to his fight against Bakugo. As he headed to the platform, several memories came to his mind. You are useless, Deku. You're just a Deku with no quirk. Despite being quirkless, do you pretend to be a hero, Deku? By the way, Deku, if you want to become a hero so much, there is a way to achieve it. Throw yourself off the roof and pray that in your next life you'll be born with a quirk. Izuku clenched his fist at this last memory. All this time I let myself be intimidated by him, but now things are different. This time I will defeat No, I will defeat Bakugo. Izuku's face changes into one of seriousness but full of confidence. Evolution, and he transforms into Flameman. I don't need Agumon to beat you, Bakugo. Meanwhile, with Bakugo, his mind was remembering things as well. Looks like Midoriya doesn't have a quirk. Why, you are very cruel, Ketchin. Why, you made him cry. I won't let you get away with this. It's been my dream since I was little, and besides, if I don't try, I'll never know. Bakugo clenched his fist at this last memory. All this time he's been lying to me. He believes he is above everyone to hide his quirk. Bakugo's expression changes to one of fury. I'm going to put him in his place. That damn Deku. Very good. We start with the first match of the semifinals. On one side we have from the Department of Heroes, Izukumidoriya, Present Mike said as Izuku entered the platform. On the other side, another boy from the Hero Department, Katsuki Bakugo, Present Mike said as Bakugo entered the platform. Both contestants ready? Midnight asked. She didn't get any answer. Bakugo and Izuku just look at each other. Midnight decided to take this as a yes. Okay, begin. Without thinking twice, both boys charge at each other. Once close, both throw a punch which hits each other's cheek. Izuku's punch was stronger, so Bakugo takes a few steps back. That doesn't stop him though, and Bakugo charges at Izuku again, this time setting up an explosion. Izuku, seeing this, prepare his own attack. Flame toss, he said as Bakugo unleashes an explosion against him. Both attacks collide. The smoke would rise, but Bakugo would not wait and would use his explosions to quickly approach Izuku. Izuku dodges an explosion from Bakugo and quickly lands a kick to Bakugo's stomach, followed by a punch to Bakugo's face to send him flying. Bakugo recovers and again charges at Izuku. Izuku avoids Bakugo's explosion again. Flame tail, Izuku tries to attack with his tail, however Bakugo uses his explosions to dodge the attack by going over Izuku, before landing an explosion on Izuku's back. Izuku recovers again, and between him and Bakugo they begin to exchange blows. Explosions and fire shot out as they both attacked each other. In one of these, Bakugo manages to hit Izuku in the stomach. That's what you deserve, you fucking liar. Izuku punches back to Bakugo. Liar? What are you talking about? Bakugo punches Izuku in the face again. You have a quirk, and you never said anything. Do you think you are above everyone? Izuku intercepts another blow from Bakugo. Of course not. What do I gain by hiding my quirk? Quite the contrary. My life was shit for not having a quirk. And shit. Then why the fuck did you never tell me you had a quirk? Izuku dodges an explosion from Bakugo. You're wrong, don't hide anything from you. It's true, I didn't have a quirk. Bakugo dodges another kick from Izuku. Liar, saying this, Bakugo makes a gigantic explosion against Izuku, which makes Izuku fly away. You are a fucking liar, Bakugo charges at Izuku again. I think I can't talk to him. I'll have to defeat him. I'll talk to him later. Izuku braces himself and manages to dodge a flurry of explosions from Bakugo, quickly positioning himself behind him. Flame toss, Izuku manages to hit a fireball on Bakugo's back. Bakugo quickly recomposes himself, and this time he heads towards Izuku with greater speed than before. The longer the fight goes on, the stronger his explosions will be. I have to finish this quickly. Noble heart, Izuku hits Bakugo before he could attack him with an explosion. However, Bakugo takes advantage of the proximity to grab Izuku by the arm and stamp him on the ground. Bakugo rises with his explosions and starts spinning around using his explosions. Izuku prepares to fight back. Howitzer impact, baby salamander. Both attacks hit, creating a gigantic explosion and a smoke screen. When the smoke disappeared, Bakugo and Izuku are seen struggling against each other. Did you ever think of telling me? I already told you. I never hide anything from you. Then how? How do you have a quirk? It's complicated. It's not something I can explain right now. So, when the sports festival is over, I'll tell you everything. Bakugo was silent for several seconds. FCK, in that release the grip against Izuku, and starts walking off the platform. You better keep your promise. After these words, Bakugo gets off the platform and leaves. The entire stadium falls silent. The silence continues until midnight announces the winner. Bakugo-kun has left the platform. The winner is Midoriya-kun. The stadium erupted in applause, but Izuku was deep in thought. What just happened? Shinso avoids a blast of ice. Todoroki suddenly appears and with a fist of ice hits him in the face and leaves him near the edge of the platform. Todoroki starts ice surfing ready to knock Shinso off the platform. Darkness hand. Shinso counters the attack with his own. Thanks to his claws, he manages to destroy Todoroki's ice fist. Todoroki quickly creates a wall of ice to keep Shinso away from him. Ice armor, Todoroki screams before covering himself with ice and breaking the ice wall to start exchanging blows with Shinso. Light kick, Shinso attacks Todoroki with a kick, which is blocked by Todoroki. However, the armor started to crack a bit. However, Todoroki takes advantage of this contact to free Shinso's leg. Shinso takes a distance and with his claws begins to break the ice on his leg. However, Todoroki takes advantage of this to attack again with several blows. This knocks Shinso down but doesn't knock him off the platform. Shinso struggles to his feet, his leg still frozen but still mobile. I need to wait for an opening in his attack. In that, both boys exchange blows again. Now, Shinso dodges Todoroki's blow, the latter being exposed. Darkness hand, Shinso's attack manages to break Todoroki's ice armor. Light kick, to then finish with a kick that leaves Todoroki unconscious. Todoroki-kun is unconscious. Shinso-kun is the winner, Midnight announced. So, the final is Shinso vs Midoriya. This will be exciting, Kaminari said. Two of the strongest in our class, this is going to be incredible, said Kirishima. They both have a similar quirk. This battle can be anyone's, Ida said. In that, his phone begins to vibrate. When he picks it up, he sees that his mother is calling him. Excuse me, I have to take this call. I'd better go too. I have to prepare for my fight, Izuku said while leaving. Hey, who do you think will win? Zero asked. I think Deku-kun will win. The two may have similar strength, but Deku-kun still has that transformation he used in the Aste that he hasn't used in this tournament yet. Uraraka answered. True, but maybe Shinso has something prepared for that, Kaminari said. We just have to see. At the infirmary, Shoto wakes up, and to his surprise Endeavor is there. What are you doing here? Are you coming to scold me for losing? Are you here to remind me of the failure that I am? Endeavor stayed silent, letting his son vent. No. So, what are you coming for? I come to congratulate you and apologize. You did very well, Shoto. Also, I think I deserve all the insults that all of you have said to me. I have not been a good person with any of you, all because of my stupid ambition to beat All Might. Shoto was speechless. He didn't expect his father to apologize. My ambition has done nothing but harm all of you. My family, I never realized how truly important you are until Ray told me my truths to my face. It hurt me. But I had to hear it. So, it was Mom. So yes, I'm sorry. I know that an apology is not enough to repair everything, but I hope that this is the beginning of a new relationship between the family. A better one. Shoto was silent for a few seconds. Then he gets up and goes to the door. You said it yourself. An apology is not enough to repair everything. But at least it's a start. Shoto opens the door, ready to head back to the rest of his class. I can't forgive you for what you did, but I can give you another chance. Everyone deserves a second chance. Even you. Just make sure you do the right thing this time. After this, Shoto leaves. Don't worry. I will. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment everyone has been waiting for, the final of the sports festival. This is a very interesting fight. Both competitors have a very similar quirk. On one side, we have izukumidoriya. Izuku stepped inside the platform. On the other side, we have Hitoshi Shinso. Shinso stepped inside the platform. Both contestants ready? Midnight asked. Izuku and Shinso just nodded. In that case, begin. Evolution, both screamed at the unison, transforming into Flameman and Strabimon. After transforming, both charge against the other. Light kick, flame tail. Both attacks collide, forming a gust of wind that separates them. Quickly recovering, Izuku prepares another attack. Flame toss, quickly launching a fireball. However, it is dodged by Shinso, which quickly approaches him with a prepared attack. Darkness hand. Izuku, seeing this attack coming, quickly prepares to counterattack. Baby Salamander. Using his fire aura, he manages to make Shinso cancel his attack and move back so as not to be hit by the fire. Once Shinso lands, both rivals look into each other's eyes. It's very fast. I don't think I'm fast enough to hit it with one of my attacks, Izuku thought. Their attacks are stronger than mine. I have to avoid them at all costs and find the right moment to attack, Shinso thought. Still, I want him to use that form that he used in Usti. After several seconds, both charge against the other again. Noble heart, Izuku tried to attack, but unfortunately Shinso managed to dodge the attack and prepare his own. Light kick. This time the intended attack hit Izuku, sending him flying. Izuku recovers in the air and prepares another attack. Flame toss, however, to Shinso's surprise, the fireball would not hit him, it would hit the ground behind him. Shinso is confused, but inadvertently that attack was a distraction for the real attack. Noble heart, Izuku tackles Shinso while covered in fire. However, Shinso doesn't back down and hits Izuku with his own attack. Light kick. The kick sends Izuku crashing to the ground. Izuku gets up with some difficulty while Shinso takes a few steps back. Come on, I know this is not all your power, Shinso said. Do you mean? Yes, use that form you used at Usi. Use Agumon. You're sure? Agumon is much more powerful than Flameman and Strabimon. I want our fight to be fair. Yes, if I don't know my limits, how can I keep improving? Izuku returns to his human form. Very well, the data wheel appears in Izuku's left hand. The D-scan makes contact with it. Execute. Once the D-scan is separated from the data, it begins to surround Izuku. Spirit evolution. After several seconds, Agumon appears in Izuku's place. Agumon. It's the form he used at Usti, Uraraka said. It seems that Midoriya is willing to end this match now, Todoroki said. This is getting more and more exciting, Kaminari said. Get ready, Shinso-kun. This time I will go with all my power, Izuku said. I wouldn't want anything less, Shinso replied. Both would charge against the other again. Darkness ha! Shinso tries to attack. However, Izuku is fast and hits him in the stomach with a strong punch. Gatling burst. Izuku performs a series of rapid fire punches and to finish. Pyro punch unleashes a blazing dragon from his burning wrists. After this combination of attacks, Shinso falls to the ground near the edge of the platform and returns to his human form. He tries to get up, but he can't. It's over. Midnight Sun, you can end the battle. Midnight was about to announce the winner, but something stopped her. No, I'm not defeated yet, Shinso said as he tried to get up. Shinjo-kun, You don't have to overdo yourself. It's okay to accept defeat. It's not that I'll accept defeat, but when I can't go on anymore. In that, his D-scan began to shine and Shinso feels that his strength returns. I can still go on. At that, the data wheel appears in his left hand. Execute. When the D-scan makes contact with the data, it begins to surround Shinso. Spirit evolution. Inside the data. Shinso's clothes were stored inside the D-scan, in that several screens appeared around Shinso. Each screen shows what appears to be a piece of gray armor. Soon each screen joins to form two screens, one behind Shinso and one in front, each screen showing the full armor, the front on the front screen and the back on the back screen. In that, both screens begin to approach Shinso. Once they make contact with him, Shinso begins to change. Several seconds later, the transformation is complete. The data disappeared and instead of Shinso there was Lobomon, a Digimon with humanoid form that wears white clothes and on it a grayish armor with purple touches. On his neck he seems to wear a kind of purple scarf with darker violet stripes. The helmet he wears only covers the upper part of his head, leaving part of his mouth and a bit of his blonde hair visible. From his wrists and forearms he can pull out two very bright light swords called Licht Schwert. Ready for round 2? Izuku smiled. Of course. In the stands of Class A, everyone is surprised by the events. What? Shinso just transformed into something different, Uraraka said. Looks like things just got even again. Todoroki said. Lobomon. Apparently that is the name of that transformation. Apparently Midoriya's transformation is called Aguniman. What do those names mean? I said it and I keep saying it. This is getting better and better, Kaminari said. Man, I wish I could do that. Wasting no time, both competitors charged at each other. When they were close their fists collided. After this, an exchange of blows began. Pyro Punch, Izuku attacked again. However, this time Shinso was prepared, jumping to avoid the attack and preparing his own. Running Meteor, Shinso makes a diving kick. When the kick hits Izuku, he then makes a slash with one of his swords. Izuku backs away from the slash, quickly recovering and preparing to strike back. Pyro darts, Izuku fires some small bits of fire at his target from his gauntlet. Shinso begins to dodge the attacks, however the last of these manages to hit him. Recovering from the attack, Shinso uses his swords and crosses them to form an X intense light ball. From the swords a ball of light shoots towards Izuku. Crimson Knuckle, Izuku performs a punch that destroys the ball of light. However, Shinso appears behind him. Lobo Kendo, Licht Victor Alpha. With his right sword he makes a cut charged with light energy against Izuku's back. Lobo Kendo, Licht Victor Beta. He does the same but this time with his left sword. Lobo Kendo, Licht Victor Upsilon. Lastly, he does the same but with both swords. Izuku crashes to the ground after the attacks. With difficulty he gets up. Shinso lands on his feet in front of him, however he can feel his energy running low. I'm still not used to this form. My energy is about to run out. It's time to end this. Izuku also notices this. His energy is going to run out. This will be the last attack. Both boys charge one last time. Pyro Punch, Light Clothing, both use their final attacks. Izuku prepares a Fire Punch, while Shinso surrounds himself with light energy and then passes it to his swords, united in a single dual sword. When both are close, the attacks collide, creating a gigantic smoke screen at the same time that it creates a large gust of air that makes everyone cover themselves. What power, Kaminari said. Who won, Uraraka said. I don't know but we're about to find out, Todoroki said while the smoke disappeared. When the smoke cleared, it was seen that both boys returned to their human form. Only that Shinso was on the ground while Izuku was standing barely. After several seconds of silence, Midnight decided to announce the winner. Shinso-kun can't continue. Midoriya-kun is the winner. After the announcement, people started clapping and cheering. That was an incredible match. And now all the events have been completed. This year's winner for first years at UA is, from the hero course, Izuku Midoriya. And that was over. This fight, it was over. All first year a sports festival events are over. Midnight announcement. And now, we will begin with the awards ceremony. And the whole stadium cheered again, while the fireworks went out again to give more importance to the event. and in that, a large pedestal came out of the ground, which had 3 columns, one higher than the other and one had its own number. Those columns were the places for the first, second, and third place. The third place is occupied by one person, shototodoroki. The third place was supposed to be occupied by 3 people, but Bakugo-kun refused that. Midnight explained. As if I'm going to share the position with Snowflake there, Bakugo screamed. In second place, Shinso with a smile in his face. He was proud of himself. While in first place, there was Izuku, who was very nervous. Now, we are going to award the medals, Midnight said, calling everyone's attention. The awarding of medals will of course be by this man. Ha 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 ha, that laugh caught the attention of many at this time, and many already knew who he was. At that, from the roof of the stadium, the No One hero took a great leap to be in the air for a couple of seconds. I have brought the medals here, and then fall and land on the ground. At that, Midnight approached the hero with the medals. Now, All Might, hand out the medals starting with third place. At that, they both approached Todoroki. Young Todoroki, congratulations, said the hero, placing the bronze medals on both girls. I'm sure you are strong, keep it that way, and never give up. Yes, sensei, Todoroki said with a smile, the rest of his family applauding him from the stands. Then they approached Bakugo. Young Shinso, congratulations, you may be in second place, but remember that. Yes, I know, said Shinso, cutting All Might. Believe me, this is not over yet. I can still be stronger. That's the spirit, young Shinso, said the hero at the moment of putting the silver medal on the purple-haired boy. And finally, they reached the first place, where Izuku was, who was scratching the back of his head with some nerves. Young Midoriya, you've done a great job getting here. Take this medal as a symbol of your own effort. Izuku just nodded with a smile and some tears in his eyes. At that, All Might looked back at where the others were. Well, they were the winners this time. But listen up everyone. Anyone here could have ended up in these places. It's just as competing, improve each other, and climb even higher. The next generation of heroes is definitely sprouting. So, I just have one more thing to say. Everyone, say it with me. Plus Ultra. With this, the sports festival came to an end. Meanwhile, at the villain's hideout, Shigaraki was watching the whole event. It was quite entertaining. So, he won, and there seems to be another successor. Fire and Light. Interesting. At that, Sensei began to speak. You're right. By the way, Tamura, are you ready? Yes, we just need someone specific, and we can finally start. In that case, I leave it in your hands. Don't worry, Sensei, everything will go according to plan. 2 days have passed since the sports festival. Izuku was in the train heading to the UA, but then someone recognized him. Excuse me, said the person, drawing not only Izuku's attention, but the rest of the people in the train as well. You are Midoriya-kun, from the hero course. Awesome. You were the first place. That fight was awesome. This, of course, made Izuku very nervous. Too many people. Luckily, the train arrived at the station. Sorry, I have to go, Izuku said as he ran away from people, not because he didn't like being congratulated, but because he still wasn't used to being congratulated. While on his way to the UA, he runs into Ida, who was running around in his raincoat. Midoriya, good morning. Once the two arrived at the UA, Izuku tried to talk to Ida. He had seen the news and what happened to Ingenium. Ida-kun, about your brother. Oh, that, don't worry, I'm fine. I'm sorry for worrying you unnecessarily. Ida replied with a smile. With that, they both entered the room. The people were cheering to me in the way here. Me too. Some people were watching me. I was nervous. Me too. Everyone was talking about what happened at the festival. A few seconds later, Aizawa arrived. Good morning, said Aizawa in his usual tired tone. Today we will have a special heroic class. Today you must think and choose your hero names. Everyone got excited about this. This is related to those who were selected by the professionals. After the sports festival, several of you received offers to do your practices with a hero. Next, I will show you the selected ones, said Aizawa to then present the offers. Izuku Midoriya, 5,172. Hitoshi Shinso, 4,932. Shoto Todoroki, 4,102. Katsuki Bakugo, 3,987. Fumikage Takoyami, 360. Tenya Ida, 301. Denki Kaminari, 272. Momo Yayurazu, 108. Ijiro Kirishima, 68. Tsuyu Usui, 47. Nizo Shoji, 22. Ochako Uraraka, 20. Hantasiro, 14. Everyone was surprised by the difference. Usually the offers are more even, but this year the attention was taken by these 4. That's a big difference. For those who have not received offers, do not worry. I will provide you with a list of various heroes who agreed to accept some students for their internships, said Aizawa. Although your names are provisional, think of a suitable one. If not, you paid for it later, said Midnight, interrupting Aizawa. Right, Midnight will help you evaluate your names. I cannot do that, said Aizawa while remembering when he chose his hero name. To be more exact, Present Mike chose his name for him. My hero name, thought Izuku, in that he remembered the time that with his mother they were playing heroes and he taught him the multiple names that he wanted to have. Most if not all were a variant of All Might. Izuku laughed at this memory. I don't think I can use any of those names. I need something that identifies me with my powers. Maybe something to do with fire. 15 minutes later. Okay, let's start. What already has your name? Come and expose it, said Midnight. I'll go first, said Aoyama while standing in front of everyone. I'll be the shining hero. I cannot stop twinkling, he said while everyone got sweat drops. Well, if you remove the I and change the cannot to can't, it would be better, said Midnight. My turn, said Mina while stepping in front of everyone. I'll be Alien Queen. Are you trying to be like that acid blood thing? I would use another name, said Midnight. Mina returned to her seat with a pout. Can I go next? Tsuyu asked. I already chose mine since I was in elementary school. Froppy. It's cute. I like it, Midnight said. I'm next, Kirishima said. Red Riot. Hearing Hero, Earphone Jack, that was Gyro's name. Tentacle Hero, Tentacle Shoji's name. Taping Hero, Cellophane Zero's name. Martial Arts Hero, Tailman Ojiro's name. Sweets Hero, Sugarman Sato's name. Pinky, Mina's name. Stun Gun Hero, Chargabolt Kaminari's name. Everything Hero, Creati Momo's name. Stealth Hero, Invisible Girl, Hagakir's name. Jet Black Hero, Tsukayomi Takoyami's name. Uravity Uraraka's name. I guess I'll go next, Todoroki said. The Winter Hero, Frost. It was Shinso's turn to show his name. I'll be the Light Hero, Wolf, he said. Using the look of your transformations and the type of power they use. I like it, Midnight said. We only need to check the names of Bakugo-kun, Ida-kun and Midoriya-kun. Ida showed his name. He chose to use his personal name, Tenya. As Izuku thought of his name, he saw his D-scan, and in that the perfect name came to mind. I'll go next, he said while standing in front of everyone. I'll be the digital hero, Agni. Incredible, I love it, Midnight said. When you transform, something like data surrounds you, and Agni means fire in Sanskrit. Very clever. Lastly, Bakugo's name, let's just say he needs to work on it. You have until weekend to decide, said Aizawa, ending the class. This is too much, said Izuku while watching his list of offers. I know. It will take me an eternity to decide, said Todoroki. There are certainly plenty of offers, Shinso said. Well, I've made up my mind, Uraraka said. I'll go with Gunhead. I have an offer from him. I thought you wanted to be a hero like 13. Yes, but the fight against Bakugo opened my eyes. If I just focus on what I already know, I'll stay behind. It seems that Uraraka-san is very determined. I'm happy for her, although I must focus on my offers, Izuku said as he went back to check his list of offers. This is going to be very difficult. There are many good offers. Best Genist, Edgeshot, Crust, Ryukyu, and the list goes on. I got it, Shinso said. I'll go with Edgeshot. Edgeshot? Yes, I can learn several things from him. I also didn't want to continue checking. There are too many, so I opted for him. Hearing this, Izuku went back to his list. He kept thinking. After several seconds, he decided to apply the same strategy as Shinso. I'll go to this one. The day of practices. Train station. You all brought your suits, right? Asked Aizawa. Remember that for now it is forbidden to wear your suits in public. But don't lose them either. Do not misbehave either. Now go. Ida was about to get on his train, but was stopped by Izuku, who was followed by the rest of their friends. Ida-kun, if at any time you need something, please let us know. We are friends, right? Ida walked around with a smile on his face. Yes, I will. After that, he turned around and got on his train. After this, the rest left in their respective train. After an hour of travel, Izuku arrived at the agency of the hero he chose. Needless to say, he was nervous. He stared at the building for several seconds as he gathered the confidence to enter. When he was about to open the door, someone called his attention. Hello, little guy. The person, a fair-skinned girl of average height with wide, curious eyes. Her upper eyelashes are long and thick, and her irises are a royal blue. Her hair is periwinkle, and it reaches all the way down to her knees, twisting around itself at her waist and curving inwards around her legs. She has side-swept bangs, tucked behind her ears on the right and hanging just over her eyes on the left, and two short clumps of hair on either side of her face, curved towards her face on the right and behind it, under her ear, on the left. Are you lost? No, sorry, my name is Izukumidoriya. I'm from UA. I came here because... So, it's you. Ryukyu told me that a first year from UA was coming. My name is Neji Hado. I'm also from UA, third year. The girl introduced herself. Third year. That means she's my senior. At that, Izuku bows. And nice to meet you, Hado-senpai. At that, Neji gets excited. I've always wanted someone to call me that. In that, he takes Izuku by the arm and takes him inside the agency. Come on, Kohai, I'll take you with Ryukyu. For now, tell me, what is your quirk? Why did you decide to come here? What do you hope to learn here? What do you know about Ryukyu? The girl began to bombard him with questions, too many even for Izuku, who was redder than a tomato. Oh, never mind, we're here, Neji said as they entered a room. Sitting at a desk was the dragoon hero, Ryukyu. Ryukyu is a woman with chin-length blonde hair, which she wears swept back with a headband, a long fringe over the right side of her face, covering her eye. She has thin, yellow, inward-tilting eyes with slit pupils and notably sharp teeth. Her hero costume consists of a dark red, traditional kippao with a pale green scale trim around her shoulders, which seems to only be slit on the left side, with yellow claw patterns on the bottom and smaller ones around her neck. She wears knee-high boots and a strap around her exposed thigh. She wears long, almost sleeve-like white gloves that nearly reach her shoulders, with higher tabs on the outer sides, and they expose her hands from the wrist. She wears a matching green headband with 4 large, pale purple claws attached, covering the right side of her face, and a set of small black dragon wings protrude from the back of her head, with a number of gold-spiked cartilage piercings decorating her left ear. You arrived very well, the hero said. Realizing Izuku's state, full of nerves, the only thing she did was let out a light laugh. I apologize in advance for Neji's attitude. She can be somewhat hyperactive, too much I would say. Hey, I'm just showing the agency to my little Kohai. Don't worry, I was just taken by surprise, that's all, Izuku said. If you say so. Moving on to more important things, Izukumidoriya, tell me about yourself. Why, yes. My name is Izukumidoriya. My hero name is the digital hero, Agni. Digital, huh? Interesting. What is your quirk? My quirk is called digital transformation. My body has data inside of it. With a support device, I can grab that data and change my appearance. Wow, and how many things can you transform into? Neji asked. At the moment, I can only transform into 2 different forms, although I suspect there may be more. Interesting. Very good. Welcome to my agency, Agni, Ryukyu said. Thank you. I'll be under your care. I saw you at the sports festival. You have a very interesting power, but I would like to see it in first person. You will face Neji in a practice match. Neji, go change. After saying this, Neji leaves the place. Are you sure about this? Don't worry, I just want to see what you're capable of. I'll stop the fight when it's enough. Now take your costume and go change. On that side is the changing room. Villain's hideout. I see. So, it was you who attacked the UA. said a man to Shigaraki. It was Stain, the hero killer. And you want me to join your group? Stain is an intimidating, muscular man who walks with a distinct hunch, and has a flat, somewhat triangular face without a nose, which he removed it himself, and an extraordinarily long tongue, tainted with numerous small papillae. He has rather long, black hair, which he wears in a messy fashion. It would drape over his face if not for his headband and mask, and small white eyes with tiny irises. He sports a dark combat suit, plated with metal armor across his body to holster his weapons. The torso is sleeveless, so he instead wraps his arms in yellow bandages, all the way from just below his shoulders to his wrists. He also wears long black wristbands and a watch on his left arm, and his knees are protected with metal pads, the costume completed by black boots with steel armor. He always dons his signature blood-red scarf and matching headband, as well as the tattered cloth he wears around his face as a mask. Correct. With you on our side, everyone will start to take us more seriously, said Shigaraki. What is your goal? Asked Stain. We want to destroy everything, Shigaraki. Pathetic. What a waste of time to come here, Stain said. Excuse me, I did not explain myself well. We want to destroy everything that people believe in. In this way we will demonstrate the garbage that society really is. When society is at its lowest, we will take control and shape it to our liking. Stain was silent for a few seconds, after which a sadistic smile appeared on his face. Why didn't you say it before? I like that goal, at least the first half, showing society what trash it really is. I don't like the taking over part, but at least the first part of your plan isn't contradictory to my ideals. Stain walks over to Shigaraki and holds out his arm. Very well, I will join you, at least until the first part of your plan is finished, from which point we will part ways. Shigaraki smiles and returns Stain's handshake, only with 4 fingers instead of 5. I am glad that we were able to reach an agreement. I accept your conditions. Welcome to the Villain League, Hero Killer. Thank you. Now I would like to check this place. I want to familiarize myself with the facilities. Of course, after that ask Kurogiri to help you bring your stuff. I guess you'll want to go back to Hasu afterwards. Right, it will be my last day at Hasu. That will be my last job before I start working with you. Sounds good to me. If you need help, don't hesitate to tell us. After these words, Stain begins to review the place, followed by Kurogiri. Once they leave the room, Sensei begins to speak. You handled the situation very well. Thanks, it was not difficult at all. It was only necessary to tell that fool what he wanted to hear. His ideals are pathetic, but his influence is very great. If people find out that he is part of our group, more people will start joining. You manipulated him into thinking we're on his side, and that we want something similar to what he wants. You'd better do that before he finds out the truth. Don't worry, once my plan starts, he won't be able to resist following my orders. He's just another pawn in our plan. Ryukyu Agency. Izuku arrived at the training place, already with his costume on. Ryukyu stares at him. Something simple, but I guess it's because your transformations have their own costumes included. Why, yeah, that's correct. Okay, I'm ready. Nejire arrived with her hero costume on. Her hero costume consists of a royal blue skin-tight bodysuit with a high black collar, pale mint green markings covering her torso from over her shoulders to between her legs, framed with turquoise, a matching stripe of the same 2 colors around both of her upper arms. On her feet, she wears a pair of knee-high boots, a thinning flap buttoned on each thigh, with turquoise spirals around her ankles, matching the thicker ones above her yellow gauntlets and wrist guards. She has a black strap around the top of each thigh, 2 small satchels attached, and 2 spiraling horns of hair protruding from behind her ears that are shaped as a reference to her quirk. All right, Midoriya, are you ready? Why, yes, Izuku said as he prepared to fight. All right, you can begin. After these words, Izuku charges against Nejire, who was only standing watching him. Evolution, Izuku quickly transforms into Flameman. Flame Tail, Izuku tried to attack Nejire with his tail. However, the girl jumped and dodged his attack. Izuku tries to find where Nejire landed. However, he can't find her. Out of nowhere, he receives an attack on his back. Nejire attacks him with what appear to be shockwaves. Turning to look in the direction of the attack, Izuku is surprised to see Nejire in the air. Nejire Hado. Quirk, Wave Motion. Nejire's quirk grants her the ability to convert her own vitality into energy and release it in the form of exceptionally powerful spiral shockwaves. Since the energy travels in a spiral, it's not very fast. Her quirk appears to be a type of shockwave. However, it allows her to move in the air. Impressive. Izuku analyzed Nejire's quirk as he dodged another attack. As long as she stays in the air, I won't be able to attack her very well. I have to force her down. Izuku quickly surrounds himself with fire. Noble heart! He shouted and then charged against Nejire. Jumping to reach her, Nejire managed to dodge the attack without difficulty. However, this was part of Izuku's plan. As soon as Nejire dodged the attack, he counterattacked with another attack. Baby Salamander. Quickly releasing an aura of fire that hits Nejire and makes her fall to the ground. However, the girl does not seem to be affected by the attack. It was rather the surprise of the attack that made her fall. Flame Toss. Izuku, still in the air, fires 3 fireballs at Nejire. However, the girl dodges the fireballs quite easily. Taking flight again, the girl approaches Izuku and attacks him with a close wave. This causes Izuku to fall to the ground. Damn it, looks like I have to level up. He doesn't do anything bad. He knows how to act quickly and think of plans on the fly. Those were Ryukyu's thoughts as she watched the fight. Taking advantage of Izuku standing still, Nejire charged at him with a shockwave ready. However, once she was close, Flamemon digivolved to Agonimon. Izuku changes form into Agonimon, allowing him to dodge Nejire's attack and counterattack Crimson Knuckle with a punch to the girl's stomach. This caught Nejire by surprise. Interesting, he can switch between forms, Ryukyu thought. Nejire recovers from the attack. This time it did affect her. Amazing, she said. Boosting again with her quirk, Nejire prepares to attack again. Izuku also charges at her. Once close, Nejire attacks with another shockwave, while Izuku attacks with his own attack. Pyro Punch. Both attacks collide and create a large blast of air. A few seconds later, the smoke disappears. Okay, that's enough, Ryukyu said. You guys did a good job. Izuku returned to his human form while Nejire deactivated her quirk. I'm impressed. You managed to give Nejire a good fight. It's not something anyone can do. One of these days you should face Tagada, Nejire said. Tagada? He is a friend of mine. Together, he, I, and another friend are known as the Big Three of the UA. Big Three. That's right, Tagada Mirio, Tamaki Amajiki, and I are considered the 3 strongest students in the entire UA. In case you're wondering, Tagada is the strongest of the 3 of us. Are you saying that I managed to face one of the 3 strongest students in the UA? Well, I wasn't using my full power, but yes. That's why I say you should face Tagada. When you finish your internship, find me at the UA, and I'll introduce you to Tagada and Amajiki. Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt, but we need to get on with Midoriya's internship. Ryukyu interrupted. Right, sorry I got carried away. Nejire apologized. Very well, Nejire, you can take a break. Midoriya, you follow me, and I will show you the facilities. Tomorrow we will start with your training. Yes, Izuku said as he followed Ryukyu. My first day and I already faced one of the 3 strongest students, and I was able to keep up with her. She wasn't using her full power though, but to be honest, I wasn't either. I still have things to discover the D-scan and my Digivolutions. I wonder what kind of people the other 2 are, especially that Tagada guy. Todoroki creates a wall of ice to defend against a fire attack. After that, he covers his body with ice and charges at his rival, Endeavor. Todoroki attacks with a punch of fire. However, Todoroki's ice armor resists the attack, and he punches his father in the face. Endeavor doesn't flinch from the attack and ignites his flames, causing Shoto to back up. Okay, that's enough, Endeavor said as he reduced his flames to their normal state. Shoto melts the ice from his body. Well done, Shoto, you've improved a lot. You managed to create a countermeasure for your weakness, fire, Endeavor said in a somewhat proud tone. Thanks, Shoto said with some nerves. He still can't get used to the change his father had these last days. He still remembers the day he came to his father's agency. Flashback. One day before, Shoto entered his father's office. I see you decided to do your internship here. You are the one who knows my quirk best. Besides, I want to see if what you said is true, if you will really change or stay the same. Shoto said. I see. Training for you and a test for me. Very well. Now what? Shoto asked. I will help you train your quirk, as well as take you on some patrols with me so you can gain experience in the field. Endeavor gets up from his chair. Come on, Shoto. I'm your intern right now, so call me by the proper name, Shoto said. Very well, Frost. Flashback end. Alright, Shoto, take a break for now. I have to finish some paperwork. Then we'll go on a patrol, Endeavor said. Okay. Izuku, transformed into Agumon, attacks Nejier with a punch, which is dodged by the girl. Nejier tries to attack with one of her waves, but the attack is also dodged by Izuku. In that, Ryukyu arrives. Alright, that's enough for today. Both students stop. Izuku returns to his human form. Take a break, take a shower and get ready. In 2 hours we leave for Hasu. Hasu? Both students asked. That's right, rumors say that Stain is in that city. Wait, Stain? Like Stain, the hero killer? Izuku asked. Right, Stain is someone very dangerous and we must stop him. Several heroes will go. Mirko, Fat Gum, I think Endeavor will be there too. We'll patrol the city for Stain. You will help. Are you sure? Izuku asked. He's faced villains before, but not someone of Stain's caliber. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to face him alone. If you run into him, use this. Ryukyu said as he gave Izuku and Nejier a device. It is a tracker. If you find Stain, activate it and we will go to your position. I see, in this way we can face him with a numerical advantage, Izuku said. Correct, also have this. Ryukyu hands Izuku a piece of paper. It is a permission for you to use your quirk in case it is necessary, so you can defend yourself from Stain while the reinforcements arrive. Nejier does not need one as she already has her provisional license. It makes sense. This way we avoid legal problems if I happen to run into Stain, Izuku said. Correct. Now go take a bath and get ready. We leave in 2 hours. Yes. Hasu City. Atop a water tower, Stain emerged from a portal. Hasu, it seems more prosperous than I imagined, said Shigaraki, who also emerged from the portal. I must purify this city, and I still need more sacrifices to achieve it, said Stain. Good luck. Remember, if you need help, don't hesitate to call us. We will be waiting, Shigaraki said. Until the world realizes the mistake it has made, I will keep popping up to correct it, said Stain while jumping away, leaving Shigaraki and Kirigiri in the tower. He really is a fool. He can't see that we are using him. It doesn't matter. His influence is what we need from him. But if we want our little experiment to work. In that, behind Shigaraki several digital portals opened and several Digimon appeared behind him. We need to keep the heroes from getting in our business. Shigaraki turns to see the Digimon. There were 4 in total. One is another Chrysalimon. Another one is a humanoid Digimon. It draws inspiration from the mythological devil and evil in general. It has completely black clothing, fingers elongated into claws, devil's horns, tattered wings, and skulls on its shoulder and knee. It has the deep red mark of evil on its chest and on its left boot. It also wears belts around its lower torso, left leg, right upper arm and left forearm, gauze bandages around its right forearm and left hand, and a skin-tight balaclava that only reveals its mouth and red eyes. That Digimon is Divimon. The other is a bipedal Tyrannosaurus Rex-like Digimon with blue eyes, 2 fingers on each hand, 3 toes on each foot, and a pair or teeth so large they pop out of the mouth. It has black skin on its body, white skin on its belly, and red stripes on its head, tail, arms, and legs. The tip of its tail appears to be sewed to the rest of it. And it has green torn spikes on its back. It has white claws on its fingers and dark gray toenails on its toes, wears metal ornaments on its upper claws, and multiple brown belts on its wrists. That Digimon is Dark Tyrannomon. The last one is a bipedal Digimon with 4 arms. Its head is eyeless with black markings and a pair of long mandibles. It has a pair of large wings and a pair of elytra on its upper back. It is red in coloration with black muscle in the torso, arms, and legs. That Digimon is Kyuegamon. Shigaraki addresses his subordinate Digimon. You already know what to do, cause chaos and keep the heroes away from Stain and me. The 4 Digimon just nodded. In the case of Kyuagamon and Dr. Renamon, they roared and headed to different parts of the city to cause chaos. Let's go, Kurogiri. Take me to Dr. Garaki. Shigaraki was surrounded by Kurogiri's mist and then disappeared. Hasu City. Train. Izuku, Nejire, and Ryukyu were about to reach Hasu Station. However, the train was attacked by something, and it began to derail and fall off the tracks. Ryukyu quickly jumps out of the train window and transforms into her dragon form to take the train from crashing to the ground, quickly bringing the train safely to the ground and allowing its occupants to escape the place safely. Nejire flies out of the train with his quirk, and Izuku comes out already transformed into Flameman. What's going on? Over there, Nejire pointed to the sky. Turning to see Ryukyu and Izuku, they are amazed and scared at the same time. What is that thing? Ryukyu asked. They were seeing Kyuagamon in the sky. That thing, I feel something familiar about it. Don't tell me it's a Digimon. That means Shigaraki and the League are close, Izuku thought. Ryukyu-san, that thing is similar to the ones that attacked the Usch. In that case, it means that this villain league is here, Nejire added. Probably. But what are they doing here? Don't tell me Stain is part of the league, Ryukyu said. Damn it, Nejire-chan. Agni, get these people to a safe place. I'll take care of this thing, Ryukyu said before charging against Kyuagamon. The Digimon let out a roar and started to face Ryukyu. While in the air, she could see in the distance Fatgum facing Chrysalimon, Mirko facing Dr. Renamon, and Endeavor facing Devimon. Damn it, there are more of these things. Hasu City. Dark Alley. Stain had the native hero against the wall, but he couldn't concentrate because of all the chaos that was happening. In that he received a message. Taking out the cell phone that Shigaraki gave him, he was able to read a message from the latter. So that the heroes don't bother you. That idiot, well, it doesn't matter. As long as I can do my job, I don't mind, he thought while pulling his katana. He was about to kill Native, but then he felt a presence behind him. He used his katana to block the attack and make his aggressor fall to the floor. The aggressor turned out to be Ida, who had lost his helmet after receiving Stain's attack. You're just a kid in a hero suit. Who are you? Blood-colored bandages, equipped with knives everywhere. Without a doubt, you are Stain, the hero killer. I've been looking for you, but I did not imagine that I would find you so soon. In your eyes the flame of revenge burns. You better watch your words. Being a brat won't save you from becoming my prey, said Stain while pointing his katana towards Ada. Your prey? Are you telling me that you don't consider attacking me? You better listen to me, criminal. I am the brother of one of the heroes you attacked, said Ida while standing up. The brother of one of the greatest and most notable heroes. So, I'll be the one to finish you off. Engrave my name for the rest of your life. Ingenium. I see, then die. Ida tried to hit Stain with one of his kicks. However, Stain avoided the attack, using one of his boots, which had spikes in them, managed to wound Ida's right arm and then slammed it on the ground. So, Ingenium's brother, I let that garbage live to spread the rumors, and I will do that with you. After these words, Stain stabbed his katana into Ida's left shoulder. You are just as weak as your brother. Be quiet. My brother has a fractured spine and half of his body is immobilized. He could no longer be a hero. There was no reason for you to hurt him. I'll kill you. You should have saved him first, Stain said while pointing at Native. You shouldn't have thought of yourself, but in helping others. Letting yourself be consumed by hatred only made you selfish. Without a doubt, you are far from being a hero. Now, die, Stain said while licking his katana with Ida's blood. Suddenly Ida couldn't move. You will be one more offering to correct this society. He was about to kill Ida, but flame toss. A ball of fire made him move away from Ida. The attacker turned out to be Izuku. I came to save you, Ida-kun, he said. What the heck is that thing? Perhaps another kid because he knows the other, Stain thought. Just as I read, most of the hero killer's victims were found in hidden alleys in sparsely populated neighborhoods. It was only necessary to search where there are not many heroes to find you, Izuku said. Ida-kun, can you get up? We need to get out of here. Heroes need help. No, I can't move my body since he cut me. Maybe because of his quirk. Still, that doesn't matter. Don't interfere in this, Midoriya. You have nothing to do with this. So, you are friend, huh? Did you come to help him? I must inform you that I intend to kill him, and you too if you get in the way. So, what will you do? Interrupted Stain. I must have brought a professional with me. But that doesn't matter anymore. I must protect Ida and Native until reinforcements arrive. Izuku thought as he activates the tracker that Ryukyu gave him. Midoriya-san, get out of here. This has nothing to do with you, screamed Ida. Even if you tell me that. A hero cannot listen to those words. The essence of a hero lies in getting where they don't call him, Izuku said while preparing to fight. Unknowingly, his words earned him a smile from Stain. Both charged against the other. Stain was preparing a cut. However, Izuku expected this. Quickly ducking under Stain's legs to avoid the katana's slash, then propelling himself above the villain. Flame Tail. To finally deliver an attack with his tail. After hitting Stain, Izuku fell back to a safe distance. However, Stain licks his katana and Izuku is paralyzed. My body, he cut me. Yet he realized something. Wait, it's not the cut, it's the blood. Your power is not enough. I noticed that you were looking to get out of my field of vision and deal a blow at me. Good plan, but still not enough against me. There are many talkers who deserve to die. But you, it's worth letting you live. Stain said as he approached Ida. But not these guys. He was about to kill Ida, but then, a blast of ice drove him back again. The attacker turned out to be Todoroki. Damn it, they don't stop coming. I see I'm just in time. Midoriya, don't worry, reinforcements are on the way. We just have to hold out until they arrive. Todoroki said. Flashback. A few minutes ago. Endeavor launched a blast of fire at Digimon. In that he receives indications from the tracker. Someone found Stain, but these things won't let us go. He thought, in that he turns to see his son who was evacuating some people. I don't want to do this, but there is no other alternative. He quickly turns to his son. Frost. Head to this place, he said as he handed the tracker to Shoto. What does this mean? Someone found Stain, but he can't do it alone. Go help him contain Stain. I'll send reinforcements as soon as we finish this thing. Are you sure? Yes, by the way, you have permission to use your quirk. Now go. All right, Shoto goes to the place indicated by the tracker. Good luck, son, please come back alive. Those were Endeavor's last thoughts before continuing to face Digimon. Flashback end. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 3. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Louis CJ 888 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.